How much money does your practice burn with unfilled appointments in your schedule? Another way of asking this question is, what's your revenue per patient? So let's say it was $400. So let me ask you this. If it was 100% predictable, how much would you be willing to pay for that $400? So let's say you told me 50 bucks. Okay, so you give me 50 bucks, I give you $400. And then you give me 50 bucks again, and I give you $400. And then we do it again and again and again. When would you stop? Well, probably when your schedule filled up, right? So this is a trade that's possible with well-optimized Google Ads in today's market, but there is one big problem. If your schedule is already full, or the person clicking on the ad can't find a time in the next 3 days, they're really likely to leave and you're really likely to waste money. So that's the problem with most Google Ads, is that in this case, you still have to keep paying and paying and paying and paying, which is one of the reasons why I generally don't recommend Google Ads for everyone. And this is why we've been working on a solution for years. We've been using advanced data analytics, specific models, and pairing that with the latest technology. And finally, after running a pilot with a few dozen practices, we have the solution. It is called EHR-Integrated Google Ads, and I could not be more excited to share it with you today because it really delivers a very predictable and careful exchange of dollars for booked appointments. Okay, so how did we make this possible? I'll take you behind the scenes in a moment, but the algorithmic intelligent model that is able to process does three things that were not possible before. It looks at the combination of, number one, all of the EHR appointment availability. So it connects to your EHR to see what's open on your schedule. Number two, and this is a big one, what is your natural fill rate and how many patients would you book without running any ads? This is a really complex calculation, but think of it as future pacing your schedule, and it does it based on historical data and specific behaviors of patients in your practice. And number three, we look at the CPA. That stands for cost per acquisition. This is what our data shows in terms of what you have to pay to Google to get the clicks and the scheduled appointments or the phone calls. So when you have these three inputs, what can you do with it? Well, we can look at your schedule. We can see your availability right now. We can also predict exactly how many open slots you'll have in the future. And then we can surgically spend your money, just like it's our own, with minimal waste or error to fill those slots. More importantly, you can tell us exactly what you're willing to pay to fill those slots. $50, $35, $100, and we can give that information to the AI, and we can tell you exactly how much of your schedule we'll be able to fill on which day. So let me show you really quick what this looks like in practice. Let's say your practice's schedule for the first 2 weeks of December looks like this. And for simple math, let's just assume that each day you have a total capacity of 20 appointments. So if we were to look at your schedule on, say, November 30th, the day before this period begins, this is what we'll see. You have capacity for 200 total appointments. Your current book rate is 40%, meaning that you have 80 of those 200 appointments filled. And now we look at your projected book rate, where this is where your natural fill rate comes into play. So what we can tell you with a high percentage of accuracy is that without you running any ads or doing anything different than what you're already doing, we know that by the end of this 2-week period, although your current book rate is still at 40%, we know that your actual book rate will end up being at 70%. So that's a better number, right? But that still means that you have 30% capacity, or in this case, 60 appointment slots that are open and available on your schedule and actually burning your money right now. So that's the opportunity gap that we can now fill with a very smart, data-driven way with EHR-integrated Google Ads. All you need to do is just tell my team what you're willing to invest in each new patient relationship, and this feature becomes a patient demand generation machine on autopilot. So the question is, how do you determine your allowable acquisition cost in your practice? And the answer to that is, think of what the end result looks like. Let's say, for example, you have a higher revenue per patient. Maybe each patient brings in $600. And if they bring in $600, then probably your cost on frames and lenses would be $200 of that. Let's say that you have $100 going to your ODN team for production, and let's say that leaves you with about $300 of net profit. So what would you be willing to pay out of this $300 to predictably fill that appointment slot? $50, $100, $150, whatever makes sense for your practice we can work with. Maybe the calculation is different and your number is $40 or $70, whatever you want. Just tell my team what you're willing to invest in a new patient relationship, and we can calculate with a high percentage or degree of confidence when we set that upper bound what this means for your schedule utilization rate using this new technology. So at the end of the day, here's what I encourage you to do. If you want to grow your patient volume in the most predictable way possible, if you want to maximize your schedule utilization rate and eliminate those soft spots in the schedule, and if you want to do it by only spending a specifically allocated amount per patient, then I highly suggest scheduling some time with your strategist to get a demonstration and learn more today.